Is it the one from
All right. So we are on week 3 of benchmark. So you should be all the way back on page 22. It's the very last story in our benchmark reader. Oh, why are you not focusing? There we go. Page 22, the last story in our benchmark reader. It's called Tom's Secrets. Give you a minute to get opened up to that.
Can I read first?
It feels like we're reading the entire book.
Kinda, huh? All right, Morgan, thank you for remembering our procedures. Morgan sent me a message asking if she can read. So I'm gonna read this first one, and then Morgan, you can pick up after that. So, oh, we've got some Roman numerals in here too. We'll talk about those in just a minute. So let me get my screen here organized. So Tom's Secret. Again, it's an excerpt from The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Okay. This one is actually multiple excerpts. There's a couple different chapters that they're pulling pieces from. It says, in the following excerpts, Tom and Huck make a plan to search for a chest of gold coins that a thief, disguised as a Spaniard, so someone from Spain, and his accomplice have hidden somewhere in town. The boys spied the two men digging up the gold and overheard their plans to hide it. Though Tom and Huck are nervous about the risks of going in search of the stolen treasure, they are eager to find it. Will they succeed? So this first part, anybody know Roman numerals? Anybody know what number that is?
16. Yes. I mean, yeah. Is it 16 or 26?
26.
26. Got it, yep. So in Roman numerals, X's equal 10. So there's 2 10s there. V's equal 5. And I's equal 1. So you would add those all together. And yep, you get to 26. Look at that, a math lesson in the middle of our language arts lesson.
And if the I is behind the V, then it'd be 24.
You are right. Where did you guys learn about Roman numerals?
I was going to say that.
I have a bunch
Second grade.
on my wall.
I didn't know you actually learned those in school. Awesome. All right. So here we go. Morgan, start reading.
About them in 2nd grade, you know.
Diesel, we're on to reading, okay?
Tom and Huck resolved to keep a lookout for that Spaniard when he should come to town, spying out for chances to do his revengeful job, and follow him to number 2, wherever that might be. Then a ghastly thought occurred to Tom.
Go ahead and keep going.
Revenge? What if he means us, Huck? Oh, don't, said Huck, nearly fainting. They talked it all over, and as they entered town, they agreed to believe that he might possibly mean somebody else, at least that he might at least mean nobody but Tom, since only Tom had testified. Very, very small comfort it was to Tom to be alone in danger. Company would be a palpable improvement, he thought.
All right. So we've got our footnote in there. Tom had testified. So in an earlier chapter, Tom testified against Injun Joe in a murder trial. Okay. So he's a little bit worried about that, right? He's a little bit worried about that now. So they are going to keep a lookout to see if they come to town for a chance to do his revengeful job and follow him to number 2. So they have these clues that he's trying to go someplace. They don't know where it is. They just know it's called number 2. Okay. And then Tom gets nervous. Uh-oh. What if that means they're trying to get revenge on us? So I don't really think there's anything I need to highlight, but I am going to write myself a little note on the side here that says, Tom is nervous about let's see, about the Spaniard wanting revenge. Okay, give you a minute to copy that down. Miguel, you were my next one requesting to read, so when you're ready, go ahead. Oh, let's see, what chapter are we going to next?
Chapter 27.
27, yeah. Miguel, go ahead and read us paragraph 6.
Okay. The adventure of the day mightily tormented Tom's dreams that night. 4 times he had his hands on that rich treasure, and 4 times it wasted to nothingness in his fingers as sleep forsook him and wakefulness brought back the hard reality of his misfortune. As he lay in the early morning recalling the incidents of his great adventure, he noticed that they seemed curiously
Curiously, yeah.
subdued and far away, somewhat as if they had happened in another world or in a long time gone by. Then it occurred to him that the great adventure itself must be a dream.
All right. Do I have anyone else who wants to kind of talk about this paragraph and say if there's anything they think we should highlight or write a note about? Because I know I've been doing it all the way through these first 5 weeks. What do you guys think? What's important in this?
I think that it's talking about his dreams. I think that's important.
Okay, so they tormented Tom's dreams that night, the adventure of the day. How about how it ends, how that paragraph ends? It says, then it occurred to him, the great adventure itself must be a dream. So he's starting to question himself. Did the events from yesterday really happen? Or did I dream about them? So did yesterday really happen? Or was it a dream? And I see in the chat that some of you have either forgotten your benchmark readers or left them at someone else's house. You still need to be taking notes. So if that means you're taking them in a notebook or however you're choosing to do it, I will go into benchmark and assign it to you because you're still going to need to be able to do your benchmark slides. Okay. And you can still read aloud because you can read from my screen. All right. Jaslyn, would you like to read number 7? You're my next one on the screen.
Sure. There was one very strong argument in favor of this idea, namely that the quantity of coin that he had seen was too vast to be real. He had never seen as much as $50 in one mass before, and he was like all boys of his age and station in life, in that he imagined that all references to hundreds and thousands were mere fanciful forms of speech, and that no such sums really existed in the world.
Okay, so what are you guys thinking? What's important here?
That he thinks that hundreds and thousands aren't real.
Okay.
He's poor.
What else? He's poor, okay, yeah, because he's never seen as much as $50 in one place.
Maybe that's like a lot of money in his case.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is adding to his idea that, oh, yesterday must have been a dream because the quantity of coin he had seen was too vast to be real. So it was too much money to have really been there. It must be a dream. So I'm going to put must be a dream because there was so much money. Amaya, you'll be next.
I don't have my book. I only have. So could I read it on yours?
Yeah.
He never had supposed for a moment that so large a sum as $100 was to be found in actual money in anyone's
Possession.
If his notions of hidden treasure had been analyzed, they would have been found to consist of a handful of real dimes and a bushel of vague splendid
and ungraspable
dollars.
Good. Ooh, that's a big one. Yep. So again, he's still continuing to talk about this. Like he had never seen that much money again. He never even thought that $100, that one person could have $100 at one time. He never even thought that a person could have that much money. Okay. So now he's thinking, well, if I'm really thinking about this hidden treasure, there would only be a handful of real dimes and possibly some other money in it. So he's still kind of questioning whether or not he was dreaming it or it really happened. Camden, you're up.
But the incident, is it paragraph 9? Right?
Correct.
Okay. But the incidents of his adventure grew sensibly sharper and clearer under the iteration of thinking them over, and so he presently found himself learning to the impression that the thing might not have been a dream after all. The uncertainty must be swept away. He would snatch a hurried breakfast and go and find Huck. Huck was sitting on the gunwale of a flatboat, listlessly dangling his feet in the water and looking very melancholy. Tom concluded to let Huck lead up to the subject. If he did not do it, then the adventure would be proved to have been only a dream.
Good. So he's thinking, well, it's a dream because it's so much money. But as as he continues to think about it, like he is really spending a lot of time pondering what went on, what happened. He's taking a lot of time on this. And so as the incidents of his adventure grew sharper and clearer, so he's starting to think about more than just the money, just everything else that happened. As he's thinking about these things that happened, he's starting to turn back to, well, maybe it actually did happen. Maybe I'm not making it up. So now he's back to that other, like, oh, maybe it did really happen, okay? I'm going to go talk to Huck because Huck was there with me too. So I'm going to go find Huck and find out if this really happened or not. And the way I'm going to know is because I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm going to wait for Huck to say something first. So Tom concluded that to let Huck lead up to the subject. If he did not do it, the adventure would prove to have been a dream. Okay, so Tom is now thinking it's real. But he is going to check with Huck.
I can't see the paper. Oh, there we go.
Landon, did I see your hand go up for a minute?
Yeah, I thought you were still asking for people to see if they wanted to.
Shoot, I'm sorry. I should have let you summarize.
It's okay.
Spencer, when you're ready, you can read paragraph 10.
Can you show it on your?
Oh, yep. I was just giving it a minute for people to finish copying that. Well, let's just go ahead and finish out this page, Spencer.
Hello, Huck. Hello yourself. Silence for a minute. Tom, if only we'd left the blame tools at the dead tree. We'd got the money. Oh, ain't it awful? Today ain't a dream then. Today ain't a dream. Somehow I most wish it was. Dogged if I don't, Huck. What ain't a dream? Oh, that thing yesterday. I've been half thinking it was. Dream?
Oh, Spencer, we lost you. You cut out on us, Spencer. Dream. If them stairs hadn't broke down, you'd have seen how much dream it was. I've had dreams enough all night, with that patch-eyed Spanish devil going for me all through them.
Find him.
Rot.
Track the money.
No, not rot him. Find him. Track the money. All right. So there he is. He's got his answer. It wasn't a dream. Tain't a dream. Like, it ain't a dream. Tain't a dream then. Tain't a dream. Somehow he almost wishes it was a dream, though, right? He's like, oh, maybe it would be better if it was a dream. And then he goes on to say, well, the reason we didn't get it is because the stairs broke. And he's thinking, shoot, we should have left our tools there. If we had left our tools by that dead tree, we would have gotten that money. So it is not a dream. I know we've talked about informal language a lot through our teaching of Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn, but I also want to give you another word that you can use for that, and that is dialect. Dialect, okay? Dialect is, again, when you start to have words that aren't the kind of words that you would use on a normal daily basis. They go more like with how a person would speak them. And how it would sound with their accent also. You guys have heard people talk with accents, right? And I mean, they could have an accent because they're from Europe or Ireland or Korea, or even people from Texas have an accent, right? They have kind of that slow drawl sometimes. And you can have accents just between different states. So this is more of our dialect, the accent that we're getting from the way Tom is speaking, okay? Let's take a second here and flip on over to our slide that we're filling in today. I did go ahead and share this with you already, so you should have it too. Let me bring it on up here. Nope, not that screen. Let's go there. It's a little different in that there's 4 questions on it. First one, we're going to use context clues. And what does the word tormented in paragraph 6 mean? So you are not looking up a definition for this from a dictionary. I want to know, based on the other things that it's saying around it in paragraph 6, what does tormented mean? And then it also tells you to use text evidence to support your answer. So you would say something like tormented means, and then give me the definition. And then your second sentence would be, I know it means this because the text says, and you're going to tell me, what does the text say that helps you to know what tormented means? Okay, so that's your text evidence. The text says, and that's how you're going to explain to me what tormented means. The next one, give an example of dialect from the passage and why do they use this? We just talked about dialect, so hopefully you were listening to me. How does the, oh, I was switching slides. I was rolling my little thing. How does the illustration on page 24 and 25 contribute to the meaning of the story? So that picture of Huck sitting on the boat and Tom kind of standing over there off to the side, how is that picture contributing to our story? And then also tell me what is one way that Huck and Tom are alike in this passage, okay? Those are your benchmark slides for today. Don't leave me. Let's take out our planners real quick and let's fill those in. Come on. There we go. Do that. And come back over to here. So in our planners, again, let me go through a couple names real quick. In our planners,